Good morning, students, parents, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased today to have the opportunity to share with you on the topic of the power of change. I am the oldest speaker today, so I do have the right to be a little bit conservative in sharing my views. Right? Now, I'm talking to the students. I believe most of you, if not all of you, want to be successful, right? I believe most of you, if not all of you, want to be happy, right? I believe all of you want to have success in your career. Either you have your own business or you're doing a job. Now, but the thing is, in order to have success in your career, you have to make a lot of changes in your career life, okay? Some are small changes, some are big changes. We have heard about the motivational stories of many successful persons, but the brutal reality is in the business world, over 70% of changes failed. Some failed miserably, some failed to reach the original objectives. Now I'm going to share with you two stories, one about myself, and also talk about the concept of the 8 embedded life interests within yourself, so as to prepare ourselves better for career success. Okay. Now, the story begins with a woman who, based on her academic results in high school in chemistry and biology, was urged to become a medical doctor. And she did it, she complied, and achieved very good results. She became a neurologist, someone who can operate on your brain, okay? She did so well. She was so well known and was invited to speak in many, many occasions around the globe. So she's got money, she's got name, she's got good position. But at the age of 42, she suddenly dropped everything and went back to her hometown and started her own business, a nursery business. It was eventually found out that she had a deeply embedded life interest to be a mentor and counselor. Incidentally, she was also identified with the deeply embedded life interest in enterprise control. That's why she started her business. She was living never so happy. And it was many, many years later that she stopped saying those years were wasted. In the 70s, I received my education as an engineer, and I graduated in the year 1980, long before many of you were born. With a degree in engineering, I started, of course, my career, and I was very lucky to be admitted to be the first batch of engineering trainees, okay, with MTR. And I worked my way up. I got my chartered status at the age of, before I was 30. And I was thinking at the age of 30, being an engineering manager, I would end my career life and retire as an engineer, a general manager. It was not until the age of 33 when I first had the opportunity to go through my first psychometric test to understand myself better. And with that, surprisingly, I was told by my career advisor that my real interest is in people, not in machines. Now, of course, being a logical, a very safety-conscious engineer, I failed at first to believe that I was not doing a good job, right? That's what I perceived. Are you telling me that I'm not doing a good job as an engineer? So it took me 3 months to actually decided to take the risk to change my career into people business. And here I am, a very happy man, working on human resources. Now, change is risky. In our life, we change, we jump ship many times. But a lot of times, when people wanted to jump to a better ship, they ended up either on the worst boats, or even found themselves in the sea. So it's very important, before you make changes, to prepare yourself to understand who you are and where you're going. Now, as a recruiter, as an HR specialist, I did a lot of recruitment interviews for graduates. One of the most easily asked questions is, and the most difficult to answer question is, tell me about yourself. In bracket, meaningful. Okay. A lot of times, the graduates, the candidates would exhaust everything they could talk in 2 minutes. They could not even use the whole 3 minutes I gave them. So if I ask you, tell me something meaningful about yourself, and I give you 3 minutes, what are you going to tell me? Some of you say, I'm a girl, you know, I have blonde hair. These are so obvious because they have exhausted what they could tell. The thing is, how much do you know about yourself? Now, we heard a lot of people talk about, I realize my strengths, I realize my weaknesses, and some people use their strengths to cover the weaknesses. I like dancing, I like swimming, but those things do not distinguish you from the others. Okay? Now, the war for talent out there is very severe. In Hong Kong, the unemployment rate is 3.1%. Basically, anyone who wants a job will have a job. But the thing is, when we choose a job, hopefully, eventually, we end up choosing a career. The best thing about having the right career is you can tell people, now, we have to work somehow because we have to pay bills, we have to pay off our mortgages, and we need the money to buy things we like. So we have to do something somehow to generate money. But if you are in the right job, something that you're really interested in, when people ask you, you say, I don't work here, I play here, and I get paid every day. Wouldn't that be nice? So, 25 years ago, 2 Harvard Business School scholars made a big research, and many people, thousands of people they interviewed, and they ended up summarizing that there are 8 deeply embedded life interests in people. You have either one or a combination of many, right? So let me introduce you to the idea. Now, deeply embedded life interests are not hobbies. They are not your strengths, but they are born characters inside you. They are the engine that motivates you to do what you like doing. Okay? Let me talk about the first one. It's about application of technology. These are people who like to turn theoretical technology into application. Very likely, you find many of them at Samsung, with Apple, with engineering firms. Okay. The second is quantitative analysis. If you possess this interest, you like to work with mathematical models, you like numbers. I'm always shocked by people looking at a bunch of numbers and they can predict the future of the company and tell you the problems that they're facing, right? So these are naturally good financial analysis, all right? Or sometimes they're called bean counters, right? The third one is about creative production. These are people who like to think out of nothing and to create ideas, to create messages, to create images. Now, you can imagine where you can find this. Deeply embedded life interest is managing people and relations. These are people who like to work with relations, all right? Sometimes they don't even have the legitimate power, but they manage, all right? These are people probably good in corporate relations or public relations, okay? There are people who have the interest in enterprise control. You can always tell when a bunch of kids play. They are always the ones who come out and control everything. And these are natural chiefs of organizations, right? Either CEOs, CFOs, whatever. The other one, let me try again. Right, need to look at the cheat sheet, okay? What have I missed? Oh, enterprise control, influence through language and ideas. These are people who like to change your mind or get you to buy into something. Probably you find a lot of this at Sogo or Aeon, department stores. Just imagine the number of walks or cutting knives that you've bought, and you're convinced that they are so invincible, so powerful, and then when you go home, you found them not useful. What else have I? Oh, okay. One important one is theory development and conceptual thinking. These are people who like experimenting, okay? Who like to repeat and repeat and repeat until they form a concept or theory. And they like to do research. Where you find them? More at universities, researchers, professors. Now, why do we need to understand the 8 deeply embedded life interests? Because if you enjoy doing what you're doing according to your life interests, there is a better chance that you show passion. Now, Chris talked about being selfless, right? Work to yourself, you follow your heart. So very likely, these people that you see who are passionate at work, who enjoy what they are doing, they have a much better chance of success in their career. So ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to really think about it and really look into yourself. Now, a lot of times we hear people talk about analyzing your own strengths, your weaknesses, what you should be doing, but not too many people talk about that. Those are all eligibility, your academic results, what you can do. Yeah, this is very important. It's about suitability. If you enter into a job, into a career that you're eligible, both eligible and suitable, you'll end up having a happier and more happier career life and a better chance of being successful. Okay? Thank you.